You're strolling through a museum, staring at ancient bones, and suddenly you wonder not just how these creatures lived, but how they died in the most mind-blowing, twisted ways possible. What if I told you that millions of years ago, death wasn't just tragic, it was downright bizarre? From fish that exploded from the inside out to dinosaurs locked in eternal combat, the fossil record is packed with stories that make modern horror movies look tame. Buckle up, because today on Before Fire, we're diving into the most bizarre deaths ever discovered in fossils. These aren't just old bones, they're frozen crime scenes from deep time, and trust me, you won't believe what nature cooked up. Let's jump in. First up, picture a serene lake in ancient Wyoming, 50 million years ago. It's teeming with life, schools of herring-like fish, called Diplomistus and Nidia, gliding through the water. But death here wasn't peaceful. Paleontologists digging in the Green River Formation have uncovered thousands of these fish fossils that literally blew themselves apart post-mortem. Yeah, you heard that right, exploding fish. Here's how it went down. When these guys died, bacteria in their guts kicked into overdrive, producing massive amounts of gas, just like what happens in decomposition today. But these fish had a fatal flaw, a swim bladder, that handy organ for buoyancy control, connected directly to their digestive system. The gas buildup turned them into ticking time bombs. Pressure mounted until, boom! Their bodies ruptured, heads exploding outward, guts spilling everywhere like a gruesome underwater fireworks show. In some species, a tube even linked the swim bladder straight to the brain, so the explosion started from the skull and worked its way down. It's wild. Fossils show skulls shattered, scales scattered, all preserved in exquisite detail because the lake's fine sediments buried them instantly. No decay, no scavengers, just a snapshot of self-destruction. Scientists call it post-mortem explosion, and it's not rare. Entire layers of rock are littered with these aquatic grenades. Why Wyoming? The Eocene epoch's warm, stratified lakes created perfect conditions for bacterial feasts and rapid burial. It's a reminder that even in death, nature loves a spectacle. If you're into paleontology, this site's a goldmine. Over 25,000 fish fossils pulled from there, each telling a story of internal betrayal. But exploding fish are just the appetizer. Let's shift to one of the biggest plot twists in fossil history. The so-called Pompeii of dinosaurs in China's Yixian Formation. For years, experts thought this was a volcanic wipeout, like ancient Pompeii, buried under ash from eruptions. The fossils are stunning. Dinosaurs, early birds, mammals, all perfectly preserved in lifelike poses. Some look like they're napping peacefully, tails curled, heads tucked under wings. Others are mid-action. A tiny mammal, Reapanomamus, chomping on a baby Psittacosaurus dinosaur, frozen in the attack. Feathers, fur, even stomach contents intact. The theory? Pyroclastic flows, superheated ash clouds, raced down, entombing everything in an instant. Some fossils even appeared charred, sealing the deal. Or so we thought. Fast forward to 2024, and a fresh team of researchers drops a bombshell. It wasn't volcanoes at all. Re-examining the evidence, they noticed key mismatches. In real Pompeii, victims ended up in pugilistic poses, curled fists, defensive stances from heat, contracted muscles. But these Chinese critters? They're relaxed, like they're snoozing in bed. Plus, volcanic ash would incinerate soft tissues, yet here we have pristine feathers and skin. The real killer? Burrow collapses. These animals lived in underground dens, cozy tunnels for shelter and raising young. Heavy rains or seismic shifts caused the roofs to cave in, burying them alive in their sleep positions. The collapsing sediment, fine, oxygen-poor mud, sealed them perfectly, preventing decay. It's less apocalyptic, more intimate, like peeking into a 125-million-year-old bedroom disaster. This revelation changes everything. It shows how biases in science can lead us astray, and it highlights the biota's incredible diversity, over 100 species preserved this way. Imagine the drama: a family of feathered dinosaurs, snug in their burrow, then crunch, eternal nap. No fiery end, just a quiet, suffocating hug from the earth. It's haunting, and it makes you appreciate how fragile life was in the Cretaceous. Speaking of death traps, nothing beats the ultimate predator paradise, or should I say, predator graveyard, in downtown Los Angeles. The La Brea tar pits aren't just a tourist spot. They're a 50,000-year-old killing machine. Back in the Pleistocene, natural asphalt seeped up, forming shiny pools that mimicked water. Thirsty megafauna like mammoths, giant ground sloths, and bison wandered over for a sip and got stuck. This tar was nature's superglue, viscous, unrelenting. The more they struggled, the deeper they sank, bellowing in panic. But here's the genius twist. Those cries were a siren song for carnivores. Enter Smilodon fatalis, the iconic saber-toothed cat with those 7-inch fangs, meaning fatal knife tooth. They prowled in, eyeing an easy meal, prey already immobilized. One pounce, and chomp. But the tar didn't discriminate. It grabbed the predators too. Dire wolves, American lions, short-faced bears, all lured by the dinner bell, only to join the victim pile. Stats are insane. Over 4 million fossils recovered, with 90% being carnivores. More than 2,000 saber-tooths and 4,000 dire wolves alone. Why so many meat-eaters? Chain reaction. Trapped herbivores attract predators, who attract more predators and scavengers. Preservation is top tier. Bones look fresh, showing bite marks, healed fractures, even diseases like arthritis or hip dysplasia diagnosable by modern vets. One Smilodon pelvis screams, "bad hips," via CT scan. Birds, insects, plants, all trapped, painting a vivid Ice Age ecosystem. It's a lesson in temptation. What looks like a free lunch can be your last. Today, the pits still bubble, a living museum of ancient doom. Now, for pure action, nothing tops the fighting dinosaurs from Mongolia's Gobi Desert. Discovered in 1971, this 75-million-year-old fossil is a Cretaceous cage match frozen in stone. A protoceratops, a stocky, beaked herbivore like a mini triceratops, versus a velociraptor, the sleek, sickle-clawed predator. The scene? Epic! The protoceratops has its parrot-like beak clamped on the raptor's right arm, while the velociraptor's infamous killing claw is jammed deep into the herbivore's throat, slashing arteries. They're interlocked, neither yielding, an eternal stalemate. What killed them mid-fight? Theories abound. Maybe they tumbled into a waterhole and drowned. Or a sudden sandstorm buried them alive. Most likely, a collapsing dune engulfed them, the fine red sand preserving every detail. No decay, no separation, just raw behavior captured. Fossils usually show anatomy, not action. This is a dinosaur documentary still. It debunks myths too. Velociraptors weren't pack hunters here. It was one-on-one. Found in the Jadachta Formation, it's a window into predator-prey dynamics, proving these clever girls were ambush artists. Going way back, 579 million years, to the Ediacaran period in Newfoundland, Canada. This was life's awkward teen phase. First complex, multicellular organisms, weird frond-shaped things called rangeomorphs, like alien ferns or sea pens, but unrelated to modern life. Scientists found a nursery site with over 100 juveniles, tiny at 6 millimeters to 3 centimeters, while adults hit 2 meters. A baby boom. Ended by doom. Culprit? Volcanic ash from an underwater eruption nearby. Hot debris rained down, smothering the seafloor nursery in a Pompeii-style blanket. Instant burial preserved these soft-bodied enigmas perfectly. No skeletons, just impressions in rock. It's the oldest known mass death of complex life, yet all victims were infants, poignant, like evolution's first nursery rhyme turned tragedy. What were rangeomorphs? Filter feeders? Absorbers? We'll never know. Extinction claimed them before the Cambrian explosion. Haunting fossils whisper of life's fragile start. Finally, rewind to 70-million-year-old Madagascar and the drought murders at Site Mad 5 to 42. A jumbled mass grave. Tiny bird-like dinosaurs mixed with giant sauropods like Rapidosaurus, all species piled together. Predator party? No. Detective work on bones showed weathering, scavenging marks, varying exposure times. Verdict: serial killer named Drought. Severe dry spells shrank rivers to toxic puddles. Animals flocked to dwindling waterholes, dying of thirst or poisoning. Corpses accumulated over months. Then, monsoons hit, flash floods swept everything into debris flows, burying the mess. Its CSI, Cretaceous, bone analysis revealed timelines, proving repeated die-offs. Madagascar's semi-arid late Cretaceous climate amplified this cycle, echoing modern climate woes. A stark warning: drought doesn't just kill, it orchestrates massacres. So, what ties these bizarre deaths together? Death has always been a freak show, from gas bomb fish to tar-trapped tigers. But really, it's about timing. Wrong place kills you. Right conditions immortalize you. Most remains rot away, but these flukes became fossils, teaching us about ancient worlds, evolution, and even today's threats like climate change. Their worst moments? Our best insights. If this blew your mind, hit that like button, subscribe for more prehistoric mind benders, and drop a comment. What's the weirdest death you've heard of? Share this with a friend who loves dinosaurs. They'll thank you. Until next time on Before Fire, keep wondering about the wild side of history. Stay curious.